Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news of Star Citizen from the week just past. I am your host Mac, so let's get on with it. This week we see more progress on Hurston and Larval. Mining and scanning gets closer to release, plus we see the progress on updated legacy armors coming to 3.2. So the first question for the Calling All Devs show is, characters currently teleport when entering the canned animations like entering a ship. Will they make it smoother? Yes, they say. It's not good to see, and it's not safe either in an environment that is a multiplayer environment. So there are things they are doing which will be, some of them will be coming in 3.2. Being able to run away after clicking to enter the ship is going to allow you to escape rather than dragging you back into the actual animation. Another thing they're going to do is just sort of slowly walking the player over, if they're close enough, to the animation rather than just sort of chucking them straight into it, making it a bit smoother, a bit more realistic, and less jerky. Next question, they've not heard much regarding the death of a spaceman mechanic since the introduction. Why should we care about our final deaths? Now, one of the reasons is because you will lose your items and your main character will be gone forever. Customizing your next character, Todd Pappy says that you'll likely be able to create a character very similar to your original, but the death of a spaceman post was posted in 2013 and I have just done a video explaining what it is, as many may not know due to it being released so early on, so do check the link below to my permadeath video. That will cover what their intentions are in regards to the life and the death of a player. So next question, will it be possible to select multiple quantum travel points at once to create waypoints rather than having to reselect using the mobiGlas each time you want to jump anywhere? Now, they are looking to improve the quantum travel mechanic in a number of ways. Potentially opening the mobiGlas and choosing a destination if it requires multiple jumps. It could construct a dynamic path that will allow players to modify the path. For example, if they don't want to go through pirate space or if they wanted to swing by somewhere. They do want multi-jump path selection. Quantum linking as a group is coming too, so it's much more important now especially. But some of the work is already done for similar things, so changes will be in 3.2. Now, the next question is to do with ship navigator's job or career path. Basically, plotting quantum jump points, setting waypoints, plotting courses, charting locations, objects, resources. Pretty much a navigator's career. Is this going to be a possibility? Now, they say yes, the role and day-to-day duties will be there. Single-seat ships will not likely have too much of a role to play, but larger ships like the Idris or Javelin will have its own dedicated station, and it is a very important role. Plotting courses suited to the ship and making sure that your destination is always key. That is something I really look forward to. And if you didn't know, a lot of the bridge stations can be allocated to certain roles like comms, navigation, pretty much anything other than the pilot and co-pilot, which will always be a specific seat, but you can slave certain tasks to those seats, and then the person who is sitting that station can actually control that career or that role. Last question is to do with VTOL system. Will VTOLs be stronger than maneuvering thrusters, and will some less agile ships have decreased maneuverability when flying non-horizontally in atmosphere? And he says absolutely, there's coming up in a patch sometime this year. The big ships will require some sense when flying. Thrusters will need to be in the right position, otherwise they will struggle to get airborne, which is why VTOLs are so important. And also when it comes to wear and tear of your maneuvering thrusters and fuel, you want to make sure that you are using your VTOLs if they have them, and you're not just hovering, as it would wear them down way too fast. Anyway, that was Calling All Devs, guys. Let me know your thoughts, and let's move on. So for Around the Verse, starting with the PU update, they say the character teams are working on different visor hoods, testing the different sort of glass effects to add a bit of realism. I do like the fact that they are adding some variation to these, but my obvious concern is the loss of visibility. We'll have to see what it's like when we're actually playing with it. The animation team are tweaking NPCs and mission givers. We saw a few new mission givers. They're also working on more diverse personalities, like this fish shop woman who is rather brattish.
What the hell are you getting? I am done working with you.
I'm in the thick of it. Maybe some other time.
I'm not even supposed to be here today. Why can't anyone put things back where they found them? It's not my job to pick up after you.
Quantum travel linking UI is receiving attention. We saw it calibrating the link for quantum travel. It's just a placeholder for now, so it's not likely to be the final UI. But the gameplay team are also testing the linking. This allows us all to jump as a group, making sure that all the ships connect so that they all jump together. They're also working on quantum spline jumps to help with the ship alignment as they come out of quantum travel. Branding and visual variations have been added to shopping kiosks, and the new grouping system is having work done with the Spectrum Mobiglass integration nearing the end of its design phase, which will be very cool. They're getting some visuals for the mining laser and tractor beams. They are just being refined at the moment. The power allocation is getting attention, and how it's being reflected in the UI as well. We saw a little bit of that. Scanning is making progress to just fine-tuning the search for mineable entities. They're now awaiting visual effects elements as seen here. It does look quite nice. I'm excited to get my hands on that and give it a test. New assets have been added to the utilitarian hangar sets. They're now adding wear and tear for diversity and grittiness, and they're finding new uses for the glass shader as shown here on the greenhouses. It does look pretty sweet. The shader, they say, will have a myriad of benefits for both Squadron 42 and the persistent universe. Now, my favourite bit is the Hurston and Larval locations. These are being refined for their debut in 3.3, so not coming out at the end of June, coming out at the end of September, I believe. They're doing a visual development work in the biome asset packs and potential ways that they can build these sandbox gameplay experiences for the player. I am very excited for Hurston. It'll be the first actual planet that we can explore, and it's going to be huge. Obviously, we're just used to moons at the moment. The Hurston's planet itself will be a lot larger with multiple biomes. And these environments that we're seeing, like this Fallout-esque junkyard bar with the crane in the background at night time as well, just looks incredible. And actually maneuvering ourselves around those sort of environments and little settlements, I think, will be so much fun. Anyway, the main focus for ATV was to look at the Legacy Armour updates. Now, the updates coming to the old Marine and Outlaw armour sets. The reason for this is they want to keep them in the game for visual diversity and to inject a bit of history into their lore, so as if they've been there for years. They won't be called Legacy, don't worry, that's just for their sake. But they're redesigning them as they want them to fit into the modularity and customization system, but also as an asset they were just too expensive, so they needed to bring them back to a realm of what's usable and also up the quality of the sculpt. They are maintaining the look, they're not changing it too much, but they want to write these sort of armour sets into the history of Star Citizen, making like the Marine armours look like the old Marine armour that they used to use and now they use something else. They did say they have 21 variants of colour for each asset. Whether we get that in 3.2, I'm not sure. I would like to think so. But we saw a cool concept image of the old armour with the helmet opening and closing. Very happy that some of the helmets will have that feature. Being able to talk face to face with people, especially using FOIP and VoIP, and then flip it down when you're in combat and going over to comms would be so cool. The Outlaw light armour, which I thought was pretty cool as well, features multiple materials like cloth, leather, metal. It does look very, very good. And I'm excited to get these into 3.2. To finish off with, in ATV, it was Lawmakers. Now, it looks like they've added Lawmakers and Bug Smashers to the end of the Around the Verses. This week looked at the Osiris system. I'm not sure why they're adding these to the end of ATV. It could be to make room for a new series of shows or whatever. It's kind of unknown at the moment. But anyway, that was ATV. Kind of short and sweet. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Most excited to see Hurston, even though that's not the first patch, which is a shame, but it's coming along really, really well. So this week's Reverse to Verse continued on with the character art team talking more about what they do and about the Legacy armor. The first question is, will we get the ability to keybind the opening or removal of our helmets instead of having to go to the Mobiglass every time we get to a landing port? And they said that key bindings will change over time of the development. Key bindings for regular actions like helmet removal will be considered if they are obviously used a lot, but they cannot say 100% exactly what's going to be used. Next question is, will some suits or armor be designed to help against high G-force? Now, they did say that they don't want to make an endgame armor, sort of one to rule them all. We want us to need various types of armor. The Explorer suit, for example, has a way of helping in certain environments, but not all of them. Otherwise, everyone would just wear the same sort of armor or suit all the time. There could be one that will help assist in flight, but it would not be beneficial in other areas, but nothing has been designed yet. Next question, will we be able to have org-based colour schemes? Now, they say that they should be able to make a colour scheme that you want out of all the armour types. They don't think it's going to be an option to choose from number 245 hue of yellow or whatever. It's more gonna, like they did say, they've got 21 colour variants per asset so far, so there is a lot of customization. There should be a lot available, but don't forget the current plans can and will change over time, so we may see more variations as time goes on. Next question is, will we be able to have capes and scarves as an element that we can add or remove, or are they all linked to armour? Now they said maybe not with armour, but potentially with clothing. Will they be able to stop weapons and items clipping through clothes or capes? Now they said that they will try to do what they can to stop the clipping, but they will not be able to stop all of it. It is a very challenging part of the development of characters, especially considering that they have EVA, which means it can flap all over the place. So they'll do their best to remove it, but they're not likely to get everything. Second to last question, will we be able to have effects on armour like moving LED lights or even some sort of particle effects? Now they say there's no reason why not. They have been testing things like lights going through the characters and moving LEDs on tops of jackets, so potentially we could see something along those lines. Kind of Tron style-esque is what they were saying. That would be kind of cool, very unique armour in that sense. The Jan, I think, would suit that kind of style. So final question, will we be able to create human armour or clothing which incorporate alien tech like the Jan ships do? They would love to have this. They did sort of spitball a couple of ideas, like maybe using Jan skin or sandworm skin for armour. Don't expect that to happen, that was very unlikely. But there is a possibility for the future. Like we see with the Jan ships, we often get a mixture of the two. Anyway, final word, they did say in terms of the art team, if there's something that you really do want in-game, be vocal about it on Spectrum, get it upvoted, and they will look at the ideas and see if it's worth doing. Anyway, that was our TV, let's move on. Also this week we had a new story post called The Knowledge of Good and Evil Part 1. The Crusader Hercules had its Q&A post. Plus, MISC had its 50th anniversary, so to celebrate, they released 2 new Razor variants. The LX, which is your straight shot drag racer, and the EX, which is a surveillance and extraction ship. I believe the EX is sold out, but there are still some left of the LX should you wish to pick one up. All links are below to our posts, so if you want to check them out, follow the links. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.